Listening is a skill which is often overlooked when engaging in work and study. Research has shown that engineers will spend 20 to 25% of their time listening, which is generally the most time spent doing any individual activity. There is a large difference between hearing what someone has said and listening to understand what they are saying. The difference can be described through the example of a helicopter. At any given time, you might be able to hear the sound of a helicopter in the distance. However, if someone were to ask if you could hear a helicopter, you'd be actively listening for one. Hearing is an activity which is accidental, involuntary, and effortless, whereas listening is intentional, voluntary, and focused. You might consider yourself to have well-practiced listening skills from attending lectures and tutorials. However, these are often interactions which exhibit one-way communication. The speaker talks, and you listen. The world of an engineering professional is vastly different to this. Most of the information needed to learn and complete work is conveyed verbally, and unlike coursework, you aren't always able to make detailed notes or revise recorded content. You need to be able to understand and interpret information quickly, as doing so will enable you to ask questions and gather information you may need immediately. Verbal communication is often supplemented with non-verbal communication. The body language of those partaking in conversation often sets the tone for communication. Bad body language, such as poor eye contact, bad posture, and passive listening mannerisms, often hinder the progression of conversation. Whereas positive body language, such as consistent eye contact and active listening mannerisms, such as nodding or smiling when you understand something, encourage engagement with the speaker, and this will often yield better conversation. This activity follows Josh, a graduate engineer who has recently started working for a structural engineering company. Josh has been assigned the task of doing some preliminary costing for a tender application. The tender is for a team of engineers to fly from the Perth office to Geraldton and do concrete testing over the course of 5 days. The tender is due at the end of the week, and Josh's supervisor has called him into a meeting to discuss his progress. Hi Josh, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So how are you progressing with the costing for the tender?
It's going well so far. I used the past tender you gave me and I've been able to come up with a general estimate for the accommodation and equipment hire.
That's good.
Thanks, but when I try to research the travel expenses, it always ends up being more than what it was for the previous year. I just can't seem to understand why the costs were so low.
Right, okay, so it probably doesn't say it in the documentation for the past tenders, but we actually have a contract with a travel company, and they're able to give us deals with flights and car hire, so that's probably why there's a difference.
Okay, so should I be contacting them?
The travel agents?
Yeah.
Actually, we have someone who can organise that for us in human resources. So what we would normally do is book it through a portal on the company website, and then someone from HR can organise everything for you. But since you're just trying to estimate the cost, it might be better if you email HR directly, and then they'll have all the information you need.
Okay, thank you.
So when do you think you'll have the cost estimates done by?
It depends on how quickly HR can get back to me, but I'm hoping to have it finished in about a day or two.
Okay, well, feel free to see me if you have any more questions. Hi Josh, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, very busy. So how are you going with the costing for the tender?
Yeah, it's going well. So far I've looked at the past tenders you've given me and I've been able to come up with a general estimate for the accommodation and equipment hire.
That's good.
Thanks. When I try to look at the travel expenses, it always ends up being more than what it was for the previous years. I'm wondering if that's normal or am I doing something wrong?
Right, okay, so it probably doesn't say it in the documentation for the past tenders, but we actually have a contract with a travel company, and what they're able to do is they're able to give us deals with flights and car hire, so that's probably why there's a difference.
Okay, so should I be contacting the travel agents?
We actually have someone who can organise that for us in human resources. So what we would normally do is book it through the portal on the company website, and then someone from HR will do the rest for you. But since you're just trying to estimate the cost, it might be better if you email them directly and they'll have all the information you need.
Okay, so is that HR in general that I should be contacting, or is there someone in particular I can speak to that handles this?
It might be best if you ask Aaron Krepsky, via his company email. He's usually very quick with his responses and he'll know everything you need. So when you...
Sorry, was that Aaron, and then what was his surname?
Right, sorry, it's Aaron with 2 A's, Krepsky, Krepski. Got it?
Yeah, thanks. So it depends on how quickly Aaron can get back to me, but hopefully I should have the costing done by probably tomorrow.
Excellent. Feel free to contact me if you have any other questions.